First, I say all praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh Bashim Yahushua Bashim Kakdash. And the honest apostles and teachers, great no son from my learning the truth. And I say shalom to the hopeful elect of Israel. Now, I have this article, you may have heard about it, going into California Governor Newsom, that's the nigga's name, yep, vows to take away funding from cities and counties for not clearing encampments. Going into going into homelessness, you know, and a lot of people are, something that's interesting is that the past couple of years you've had a lot more people um, make videos going into how they're living in their car. They don't have a place, but they have a job and they're living in their car. But it's still technically homeless. But they have jobs, but they are living in their car. That you see what's wrong there, and I'm going to pull up this short, and these are really all over the fucking place, going into how the cost of living has increased, but wages haven't kept up. And I'm just going to read a little bit into this article. California Governor Gavin Newsom on Thursday had a message for local governments: clean up homeless encampments now or lose out on state fund next year. You got niggas that have been in the military, they are homeless. People that have lost their job. People whose job isn't paying them enough to afford a place, and tons of other fucking reasons. But you have people that aren't lazy, but typically you could say like a homeless person doesn't want to work. You got niggas like that, but you do have people that may have had jobs and that are homeless, or a lot for whatever reason, lost a job or whatever. Clean up homeless encampments or lose out on state funding next year. Mind you, money could be given to the states to take care of this shit. And what? Like it all goes back to the whole lack of skills thing. Once again, when you go to school, you're not taught how to be how to make your own money, how to be independent. You're taught to sit down in the class, be on time, wear a uniform, and obey orders. That's it. There's a lot more ways to make money than just to go to a 9 to 5. They don't teach you actual skills that you can take out into the world and use to to make money. College. A lot of college degrees are fucking useless. But you have people that go to college, get in debt, and find out that they can't even work at McDonald's. Trades. I remember someone I was talking to when they were younger. They had classes in school like culinary arts. Even when I was in high school, we had like a separate program where you be taken to a different facility where you would learn like actual like learn cooking, like different languages like Japanese, Russian, but like other like actual like little skills that you can actually fucking use. But I don't hear about any of that type of shit now. But once again, instead of taking away that state funding, and like once this guy calls himself the governor of California, yet he doesn't want to do anything. He just wants somebody else to fix it. Which the answer is it's very clear. Get the niggas jobs. Really fix the whole fucking the whole education fucking system. But he doesn't want to actually give people skills to to go on their own. He wants them to be dependent on the system. Because that's what it comes down to. Like people rely upon a job because they don't have anything else. Obviously, like it's a two-sided thing, because they can go out and learn the shit on their own. But stand in front of cleared homeless encampment in Los Angeles. Newsom vowed to start taking state funding away from cities and counties. They're not doing enough to move people out of the encampments and into shelter. Once again, those shelters, how long can you stay in a shelter? You know, that's a temporary fix to the problem. All this nigga wants to do is just get them out the way. The governor joined, not actually solve the fucking problem. The governor joined, and I'm gonna go to Isaiah 10:1 because that is an unrighteous fucking decree. You know, like what he that is grease, he that is evil to himself, to whom will he do good? This is how the so-called white man runs his kingdom. An evil, horrible. This is a horrible fucking place to live. It's Isaiah 10:1. You know, because once again, that money could go to actually fixing the problem, but they don't want to do that. You hear about all these niggas that's fucking money laundering and all this shit, spending money on like during the pandemic, you had billions of dollars that was sent to Pakistan. I'll never forget that for gender studies instead of giving that money to Americans who need it. Because mind you, what $1,200 stimulus check, that alone is some people's fucking rent for a month. They still have other bills to take care of. And they know good and damn well that Americans needed more money than that. You can say, oh, but the debt clock is going to run out. Realistically speaking, America isn't paying that bitch back anyway. It's Isaiah 10:1. On to them that decree unrighteous decrees. And this is why America is fucking going down the drain. One of the reasons why, because you have a bunch of evil, twisted fucking leaders. And their right grievousness which they have prescribed to turn aside the needy from judgment. Once again, you got a lot of homeless niggas that may be living in their cars, that may have jobs, that may have lost their employment. You know, military niggas that may be fucking crippled from some type of accident. And to take away the right from the poor of my people, and and you have a lot of Edomites that's in that shit, but Jake has always been going through that shit. That widows may be their prey, and that they may rob the fatherless. Widows may be their prey, and they take advantage, and like they take advantage of the Israelite woman to destroy the Israelite man and the household in general. You know, push that you don't need a man bullshit, which they do. Women do need men. You need men for guidance, whether you like it or not. Besides, so many of y'all end up single mothers and fucking jaded because you don't have a man to properly guide you in the right direction. You know, I was just thinking, my brother was going into that about an hour ago's live stream, but you had Raguel. Tobias was to marry Raguel's daughter, but Raguel wanted to add. You know, he asked whose son are you? He told him Tobit, and they knew who Tobit was. You know, they knew he was a good man. He was a righteous man. So they said, okay, you know, let's you're good. We know who you come from. You don't, you don't come from some nigga. But the before giving his daughter off to another man, he vetted him. Once again, that there's that guidance. But here you got this whole women empowerment movement thing, and the whole thing is fucked. Once again, taking taking advantage of women, the Israelite woman. But verse going back up to the top of verse 2, to turn aside the needy from judgment. And that's what the so-called white man does. And once again, he said, if you don't put them in shelters, just get them out the fucking way. That's essentially what he's saying. We don't put them in. And once again, shelters are a temporary fix. Meanwhile, they're having people, niggas from other countries come in here, and they give them all types of funding and employment. You know, there is these Ephraimites that was working on this house next to me for a couple months now. These niggas pulled it. Now these niggas pulled up with seemingly new fucking like I'm not sure how long they've been here, but we pulled up with new fucking vehicles, like with trucks and shit, to work on the house. Then you have a lot of people here are already here. They can't get that. They're giving well, obviously it's still Jake, but to American people there's an outs someone on the outside being let in and given all of this funding. Meanwhile, the people that they have here in their own country that they claim to be leaders of are suffering hell.
$1,800 a year now. For the typical American family, they are paying an additional $1,800 a year now in higher financing costs compared to January of 2021. Coupled with the decline in real earnings, this leaves a family roughly $7,000 poorer than when Biden took office. However, it should be emphasized that many Americans are even worse off than that. For those trying to buy a home today, the monthly mortgage payment on a median priced home has risen over $1,000 during that time. And so it costs a family about $13,000 more per year, every year, over the life of a 30-year mortgage. For the typical...
Just going to go into some of the comments here because, once again, prices are increasing, but wages are not keeping up. Just that whole Biden talking about the $15 minimum wage that he convinced you stupid niggas of. I haven't seen that shit. It's a mandatory $15 minimum wage. I haven't seen that shit. Now, you've had places that have had price increases, but from what I could gather, he was talking about all across the board there would be a $15 minimum fucking wage. Just yesterday I was driving by and I saw this she was Jake, old ass fucking lady. Old ass lady, bum leg, had a walker and everything. A couple years ago, I used to work at this fucking Ishmaelite grocery store. She was there, and if I'm not mistaken, I'm not sure if she was walking the entire time, or if she had. I think I saw her in a car, but I think I did. But she's walking to and from that job, from what I can gather now. She was Jake. And it was quite a distance. A senior citizen. It says here we're paying higher prices for groceries, gas, oil, electricity, insurance, taxes. Interest rates are crazy. Rent is higher. This doesn't affect the rich or even the well-off. This affects the people who live paycheck to paycheck, which is the majority of Americans. And this is the nigga who y'all, and this is how this is why we say how 2/3 of our people have to die. We don't say it just because it's some cool thing that we just say. If you niggas truly love America, you have to die. Look at this. I can't even afford a down payment for so many fucking people. If a CEO ran a company this poorly, they would be fired immediately after these numbers were reported. The CEO of America, the leaders of America. And this is why you're going to have sedition, which is an uprising against government. That's why that's going to breed. Sedition is going to that's going to breed. Why do we keep allowing these creep politicians to keep doing this to us? There's no reason things should be this expensive. And plenty of people are upset about this shit. And you have this nigga over here saying, just get the homeless out, just get them out the fucking way. Instead of, once again, he doesn't want to solve the problem. This is how Proverbs. 29 to 2. And we're not like, hey, yo, and it's a marvel how when we say America needs to be destroyed, people look at us like we're weird, like something's wrong with us. This would be to your benefit as well. Proverbs 29:2. When the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice. But when the wicked bear rule, the people mourn. Did those comments not sound like mourning? Verse 7. The righteous consider the cause of the poor, but the wicked regard not to know it. And that's the so-called white man in the fucking, I don't want to say in a nutshell, but that's the so-called white man. Well, you got Jake. Yeah, that's why I said not in a nutshell. But you got Jake to do that as well. But Esau's the head of this shit right now. Righteous consider the cause of the poor, but the wicked regard not to know it. Pull yourself up by your bootstraps and work hard. We did it. Purposefully ignoring the fact that 50 years ago things were not as quite as complicated as they are now, nor were they quite as expensive. But that's very interesting how the niggas who you have, and Kamala Harris is no different, Joe Biden is no fucking different, Trump is no different. Trump is with them, he's just a little bit more outspoken. None of these niggas are going to save any of you, and that goes triple for Jake. There's only one who's going to save our people, and really save the world. Because under the Israelite administration, you're not going to have any of this shit going on. You're going to have your ass handed to you for 1,000 years, and you're going to have to pay tribute. But you're not. It's not going to be anywhere anything like America. You're not going to have fucking inflation. Everything is going to be pure. But hope that find say all praises, glory, and honor. How about Shema Shah, Bashim Gavadash? The boss of Apostle, I take great medicine from my life. Choose Shalom to hope like Israel instruction, battle on great America.